Visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Warm morning. Sorry. Yes. Today we'll continue our learning on the arrays. Just a couple of slides. Okay, wherein we are going to look for the operations that can be performed on an array. Okay, this is an additional. It is not there in your syllabus, but in one of the exam they had asked about the describe operations of an array. So I'm just covering it up. It's very simple. Just look into the different types of operations which we can perform. Okay, we can have 8 operations. The first 4 are here and the remaining 4 are on the next slide. Creation, insertion, deletion, and traversal. Now look at view of the array here, right? So when we say an array, it should be a collection of elements, right? So here 10, 20, 25, 15 are the elements. Okay, and each of them elements can be accessed by their unique index values, which are starting from 0, okay, up to 3 here. Okay, there are 2 more elements which we can store into an array. The size of the array here is 6, in which we have stored only 5 elements. Okay, now creation process. So creation process means here it is just a creating an array. So creating an array means what? In C programming, when you write int, suppose for if you want to create an array for an integer of a size 5, then we just mention int name of the array and within a square bracket the size we mention. So that is nothing but the creation of an array. So when we create, the elements will be empty, isn't it? If we want to assign some elements, then we can do at the time of creation also, or we can assign after creation as well. Okay, so as a standard operations, when we say creation, creation means it is a creating an array. Okay, and the elements will be empty. No elements will be stored in an array. Okay, then insertion. So insertion, the name specifies here what? Can anyone tell me what we mean by insertion here? I just want to have a discussion here because most of these concepts you are aware about. Let us have a discussion. Okay, insertion. So what do we mean by here insertion operation on an array?
Adding
Inserting value.
elements.
Inserting values, right? So suppose if I want to insert an particular value into an element, then that particular operation we can call it to be an insertion, inserting a new data item in an array, right? Then now here, can you tell me where we can insert in this given element, given array? If I want to perform an insertion operation, where I can perform? On the
Index number 4.
Index at a 4th position, I can insert a new element here, right? Very good. The next one, the deletion. So what actually we mean by deletion? Anyone? What is the operation deletion?
Deleting an element.
Deleting an element, right? Now here deletion operation can be performed in 2 different approaches or 2 different methods. Pay attention here. So deletion means, okay, something like removing an element, right? Suppose if as I said, the deletion can be performed in 2 different methods or 2 different approaches. First one is that we can delete an element directly. Like suppose if this is the array and I want to delete an element 25, then what I can do, I can perform a deletion operation wherein I am removing the element 25. This is first approach. So the second approach could be what? I want to delete an element which is located sorry, I want to delete an element which is located at the index, say 1. So delete the element at the index 1. So 20 will get removed here. So if you look at here, the 2 different methods or approaches are what? One is based upon the index value. At that particular index, you remove something or you delete something. Second one is that we can directly remove the element in the array. You delete that particular element in an array. There could be sometime, suppose if the element if we are removing and assume that if the element is present more than once, like assume this is 25 and assume that at the index 4 again there is a 25. Then if I say delete 25, then it is like a, should I remove both the 25s or the first occurrences of 25 or the last occurrences of 25? It is little a dilemma. We don't know which element has to be removed if when the element is present more than once. But if we know that what index we want to remove, then there will not be any confusions. At that particular index, we can directly go ahead and remove the element. That is what deletion operation. So the deletion can be performed at a particular index location, or also sometimes we can delete a particular value. So deletion can be performed in two different methods. Is that understood, students? The deletion operation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are two methods, as I said. The default is whenever I say deletion means it is deleting at an index location, because that is the most precise operation we can perform. That is a default. Suppose if you want to delete an element at a particular delete an element, then I need to specify that which element I want to delete. That is something an additional task. Okay. The fourth operation is traversal. So traversal means, do you get any idea? What strikes to your mind when you hear this word traversal here?
Transferring of elements.
Transferring of elements. Okay. Anyone else?
Accessing data.
Come again.
Accessing data.
Accessing data. Anyone else? It is neither the whatever answers you give, none of the answers are correct here. Okay. The traversing means visiting every element in an array exactly once, starting from the first element to the last element. I will repeat once again. It is nothing but the traversing means visiting of all the elements in an array, that is exactly once, from the first element to the last element. So visiting means what? Consider if you want to know the size of an array here. Okay, if we want to perform or want to know the size of an array here, how can I access size of the array? Now here there are 4 elements. So what I need to do? So I should be having a particular condition where I will keep on visiting every element from the first element. So I visit this first element. After visiting the first element, I will move on to the next element, 20. So after I visit the 20 element, then I will move on to the next element, 25. Now, do you think that I will come back again and access or visit 20? Definitely not. I need to visit only once. Then only I will be able to perform the valid operation. So visiting every elements in an array exactly once, right? So from the first index, that is 0th index or the first element to the up to the last element in an array. If the elements in an array all are occupied, then we can call it to be a last indexed, or sometime if the elements are empty, then we can just stop at the last valued element. So visiting the elements is called as traversal. Keep it in mind. Visiting the elements exactly once, okay, in an array, we call it to be a traversal. A simple example how you can remember is that suppose you are traveling, say you are traveling through a train, by a train. Okay, now you want to travel from Belgaum to Bangalore. Okay, but on the way you visit every station only once. We won't visit the stations multiple times, right? If you start from Belgaum, you go to Dharwad and Hubli, you won't come back again to Dharwad. You continue your traveling in one direction, right? We won't repeat the visiting the every stations again and again, right? In the same way, in the traversal in an array means it is visiting every elements one after the other and led to exactly once. Understood, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The next set of operations. The next set of operations are selection, searching, sorting, and merging. Now, what do we know by selection here? Can anyone tell? Selection. What do you think of? Student, you need to be
Selecting the Selecting the desired element.
Selecting the desired element. Okay. Anyone else?
Choosing the elements.
Okay. Anyone else? Now, selecting the element means, or selection operation means, select an element at a given index. Okay. Select an element at a given index. Select means you can say accessing, right? Accessing a particular element, an element in an array for a given index means, for an example here, select the element in an array in the given array at an index 2. So the input here is for us is what? The index value. So at this particular index value 2, you select the element. So I get 25. So unknowingly, you all have studied this particular operation in an array. Like whenever I write, suppose AR, suppose if the element, the name of the array here you consider to be a ARR. ARR of 2. If I mention, that means what? It is a selection operation. I am selecting the element at an index 2. That is selection operation. The input for us here is an index value. Okay. Now, unlike for the next operation, searching is based upon the value of the element. Search the element 15 means I have to start searching the element from 0th index to the last index, and I shouldn't look at the index value, rather I have to look at the value located in that particular index, that is the elements. That is searching. Array can be searched for a particular value, right? Suppose search 15, then what I should do? I should perform first, right? What operation? Traversal operation from what? 0th index up to I reach my given element, right? So I search, start the traversal at the 0th index, then I look upon what is the value, 10. Is it my matching value? No. Keep on moving like that. So keep on moving until I get a particular element, that is 15. So it is searching operation. The difference between selection and searching is selection happens based upon an index, whereas searching happens based upon the value located in the elements. Okay, understood the difference between the selection and searching?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorting. So it's very straightforward, right? The sorting operation. Sort means arranging the elements, right? Sorting, that is arranging. Arranging can be done in any other, in different methods. The common approaches are arrange the elements in an ascending order, or arrange the elements in an descending order. Suppose if I say ascending order means, then the array element will look like what? 10, 15, 20, and 25. If the same thing is based upon the descending order, then it will look like 25, 20, 15, and 10. So sorting means it is some arranging the elements in some orders, like a ascending or descending. The last operation we can perform in an array is merging. So merge means it is something like a combining. Suppose if there are two arrays, right? And we want to combine both the arrays to make it a single array. That type of operations we call it to be a merging. So at the time of merging, we have to take care that both the arrays should be of a same type. Right? If one is an integer, second one should be also an integer. Then we can perform merging of those two different arrays to form to be a single array. The types of both the arrays should be same data type. Understood the operations? Can
Yes,
anyone
sir.
recall what are the different 8 operations? What is the first operation?
Creation,
Okay, next.
insertion, deletion,
Deletion,
traversal.
traversal, right? Remaining 4 are over here. Very good. Yes. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. The next type of data structure, we call them to be a list. So the lists are most commonly used non-primitive data structures. Okay, list means it is nothing but an ordered set containing a group of elements. So again, the list means it is also a group of elements only, like an array, but there is a proper ordering in making or in grouping those particular elements. That's why we call them to be a ordered set or a list. Certain type of an arrangement or a certain type of a method is used in order to group all those elements together, right? There are again two types. One is the linear list and other is a non-linear list. Okay, so linear list means what? All the elements in that particular list are arranged sequentially. Okay, sequentially, one after the other, the elements of the list will be stored over there. Non-linear means it is opposite of the linear. The elements are not sequentially arranged there. Okay, we will see the examples, then we will come to know what the difference is. The first example for the linear list is stack. Okay, now look at this particular diagram. There are some examples given there, right? Like a stack of a books, stack of a rings or a disc, okay, box of a tennis balls, stack of plates, stack of chairs. So what is common among these images? What is the common in this example? What you think of?
So we can remove the items from only one end.
We can remove the items from only one end. Very good. Any other thing? When we say removal, think of adding the elements. Adding the elements can also be done on one end. If you look into the examples here, suppose if I want to add one more, suppose take an example of this stack of a chairs. Now, if I want to put one more chair, right, where I can do, I can add or I can put another chair on top of this, right? So there is only one end here. And if I want to remove, then I can remove the chair from the top. That means I can insert or remove the chair from the top. Think of other example here, box of a tennis balls. So this is kind of a box where we are putting the balls here, tennis balls. Again, if you look at here, the adding the balls or removing the balls can be done again on only one particular end called as a top. Look into the all other examples here. All are here a stack. Stack means a type of an data structure, a list, a linear list, wherein the adding or inserting a new element or removal of an existing element can be performed from an one particular end called as top, right? The insertion, we call them to be a push operation, and the deletion, we can call them to be a pop operation. Okay, look into this here. This is an empty stack here, right? No elements are there. If I want to add one element here, that is, if I want to push an element, then that has to be done from the one end, which is on the top here, right? So I can push an element here, that is, one element is pushed. Now if I want to push one more element, again that has to be done from the top itself, then it will be a 2 here. Now, when the stack consists of 1 and 2, and if I wish to remove, that is, if I wish to delete, that is an pop operation, then definitely the 2 will get deleted because it is at the top. I can't delete or I can't remove the element 1 here. I can only delete the 2 element. That is, pop operation is only possible wherein I can remove the top element. Suppose if I remove the 2 and then if I want to again perform an pop operation, then 1 will get removed. So this type of an arrangement, right? Do you see an arrangement here? It is a list, right? It is a list. A proper arranging is there, right? And that arrangement is made, or the elements are grouped in a proper style, wherein insertion or removal that is deletion, can perform at only one particular end called as the top end. So this type of a data structure, we call them to be a stack. In detail, we are going to study this stack data structure in the unit number 3. Okay, and this type of operations, whatever we are learning here, that is called as last in, first out. Look at the words here, how simple it is. Last in, first out means the element which is inserted at the last will be removed first, isn't it? Now here, if you look into here, the last inserted element is what? 2, then it will be removed first. So that is the procedure being followed in the stack. Okay, followed, student? Just understanding about what a stack is. In detail, we are going to learn again. Need not to worry about that. Okay. The next type of data structure, we call it to be a queue. Look into these diagrams. What strikes to your mind? This is most
First in,
common.
first out.
Come again.
First in, first out.
First in, first out. Very good. This is something, a common word or a term which we use in our day-to-day life. Suppose if you're standing to purchase to buy a ticket in a particular counter, okay, considered to be a movie ticket, then how it follows? We follow a queue. Suppose if someone is entering in middle, what you do? You shout at that particular person, go and stand in a queue, right? That means here it is a type of an arrangement where there are two different ends. You can see here, this is one end and the other side is other end, two ends. Now, this end, can anyone name the ends here? Or can you tell me from where the insertion is happening, from where the deletion is happening? See, the one which is near to the counter here, right? So this end we call them to be a front, and the one which is at the back side here, the last, we call them to be a rear. Front and rear, right? Now, insertion operation happens at rear or at front? I will repeat once again. This side is a front end and this side is a rear end. Okay. Now, what do you think? Where does the insertion happens? Is it at a
At the
rear or is it at the front?
rear.
Rear. The insertion happens at the rear end. That is, new element can be added at a rear end, whereas the existing elements can be removed only from the front end. So this type of an method or approach or designing the data structure is called as a queue, right? The new elements are added at a one end called as a rear end, and the existing elements are deleted from another end called as a front end. Okay, it follows, as you said, first in, first out. Means the first who has entered will be removed first. Just look into this diagram, right? It will give you a better understanding. This is the front, this is a rear. Suppose when nothing is there, first who comes is 12. After that, 15, 9, 5, 19. Suppose if I want to remove something, then I have to remove 12. Once 12 is removed, the next element will be 15, right? So the front end and the rear end. The NQ here, right? The NQ means it is an insert operation on a queue. DQ means removal of the element. That process, that is deletion operation, we call them to be a DQ. Okay. Again, in detail, we are going to study about queue data structure in the unit number 4. The complete unit 4 is based upon the queues only. Okay. Yes. The next concept is linked list. Yeah, very interesting diagram here. So what do you think here? What it is? It is a train with certain compartments, certain bogies. Can anyone tell me what this particular diagram is, why this particular diagram is put for the linked list? Anyone? Sir, you are asking questions.
Each bogie contains different items.
Mhm. Okay.
Sir, every other element is linked to the previous element.
Yes, both the answers are valid here. If I combine both of your statements, then it makes a proper definition here. Now, each of these bogies are what? The data. Each of these bogies are what? Data. And how they are connected? Through a link between them. Data, this is also data, and they are connected between a link. So linked list means this. It is a collection of nodes. It is a collection of nodes. Every node, that is each node, consists of two different parts. The first part we call them to be a data or the information. Okay, data or the information. And the second part is called as a link, which will make a connection to the another node. Okay, now this particular linked list is implemented using the pointer concept. We will study a pointer concepts, and after that in the unit number 5 we are going to again in detail study the linked list. So in the linked list, three things you need to understand, or three things you should know first. First is what? It is a collection of nodes. That is the first point. Second point is what? It consists of two parts, that is data and a link. Okay. Now, third point is what? The data field or data part is the actual information, whereas the link tell us the address or the linking part of the next node which is connected. For example, in this particular diagram, you just first don't consider this engine here. Okay, think that okay, this is a bogie, okay, and this is the data, and then there is a link here. This link is the part of this particular node itself. So node means what? The bogie with the connection. So this bogie is actual information or the data, and this connection is a link. Okay, understood, students? Something about these three different data structures, that is stack, queue, and linked list. The remaining other types of data structures, those are trees and graphs and files. Trees and graphs are non-linear lists. Okay, trees and graphs are non-linear list. Look at here, the tree, how it looks. The better explanation I can give based upon this particular diagram. Right? It is a tree. Tree means it looks like a tree. Okay, now on the bottom you have a root. From that root there could be a certain nodes which are getting connected. From those particular nodes again there could be some other nodes which are getting connected, like a proper hierarchy. Suppose if you think of an hierarchy in our college, on top we get a principal sir. From principal sir there could be a different coordinators for the different departments, like BCom, BBA, BCA, MCom. Okay, just try to visualize with respect to a hierarchy. Here only I can give you a best example. Just a moment. See, this is, isn't it a proper hierarchy, a tree kind of an data? Look at here. On top, on the root side, what we have? Sorry, it went. What we have? A data structure. Then it has its own two nodes here. One is primitive, other is non-primitive. Right? In the primitive, then again there are some more root, some more nodes, and in non-primitive then there are some more nodes, and each of these arrays, lists, and files, again they have their own nodes. It is like a upward down type of a tree, right? This type of a data structure we call them to be a trees data structure. Unfortunately, you guys don't have a concepts, the in detail concepts that has to be studied for the trees. Okay. Second is graphs. Now look into this diagram. What is understanding from this particular diagram? What can you make out? Can anyone guess? See, collection of vertices and edges. Look into these all the photos, right? The thumbnails of a person's, what it looks like. These are vertices. And each of these vertices think that these are the datas. These datas are connected through something called as an edges. These dotted lines here indicates that it is an edge. Now look at here, this particular person. Students, are you able to see this diagram? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
This particular vertex is connected to two more vertices, right? Through the edges. Okay, then consider this particular person here. This person is getting connected to 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There is no proper mechanism here. Like it is non-linearly or non-sequentially, the data is getting connected. The data are getting connected through the edges. This type of data structure, we call them to be a graphs. These are vertices. This is vertex, this is vertex, and all these are the circles or the photos what you are finding are the vertices, and the connection between the vertices is nothing but the edges. Okay, so this is a type of graph, is a type of a non-linear list. Okay, the last one is files. So files is nothing but a physical file which can be stored permanently on a secondary storage devices. Any type of data if we want to store in a file. So file, when we say a file, it is something the data is getting stored permanently. Permanently means what? The storage device is secondary storage device. That type of a data structure we call them to be a files. We will study a little about files in the first unit itself. Okay. Yes. Is it understood, students? Any doubts so far?